Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here, and tonight we are talking Mr. Banks. That's right. It's the Talking Mr. Banks Soft Talk Radio Hour. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I'm doing this. All right, we're talking Mr. Banks, guys, and I have with us tonight Jacob Wile. How you doing, Jacob?
Doing great. Live from Grove City, Ohio.
All right, and BlueDragonFive.
Heyo.
And the always lovable SandyClaws.
Hello.
We're not lovable. We're not lovable.
No, of course not.
Okay.
Sandy is always lovable. Always lovable. Sandy's like the fan favorite, the Fonzie of the group.
Okay, let's not go that far. Go on.
I wouldn't go that far.
And
I
on the occasion,
think if we had to take a vote, like a Democratic vote, I would...
Joe Manganiello's the Fonzie. Come on. Let's make that.
Well, no, just saying, of our little collective that we have on this YouTube channel, I would say that Monkey is by far the coolest person we have. I love you.
Yeah.
So cool, he's never around.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. He's elusive.
and I'm the occasional recurring guest star for some reason.
You're fine, Jacob. You're great. You're great. Okay.
Yeah, you're Potsy. We need you.
Oh God. Oh God.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
We love Anson Williams here. Anyway.
So, speaking of other things, we love the movie machine.
Wow, talk about ears bleeding.
I'm sorry.
Another time just so people can hear what we're plugging, Tiki.
The Movie Machine Podcast. Go to hotchocolatemedia.net for the Movie Machine Podcast. You have a writer, a director, and a producer, and a moderator going head-to-head, pitching a crazy movie with all kinds of weird, off-the-wall guest stunt casting, crazy subject matter. It's a hoot. hotchocolatemedia.net. All right, BlueDragonFive, what are we here to talk about and why?
Well, folks, we're here to talk about Hercules.
Hercules.
Movie from Disney.
Hercules.
Oh God.
Hey,
Sorry, that was a good addition. I'm glad you made that joke. Anyway, no, seriously, we're talking about Hercules from 1997. The reason we're talking about it is because soon, despite the new deal that has been struck with Disney and Netflix, we're going to talk about it before it leaves, because literally this night it's going away for a while.
Bye-bye. It's going back in the Disney vault.
Yeah, but it'll be back.
It'll be back, yeah.
I hope.
I guess this thing's going off of Netflix, the new Disney vault now.
Well, I mean, again,
just talking Disney properties, of course.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, then again,
we did have a fairly interesting podcast about the Disney Vault earlier in our career, so I'm just asking. The Disney Vault is an elusive subject matter.
Believe me, had we continued with some debate topics, we would have really gotten to the Disney Vault. I'll say that much.
Oh God. Okay.
So, moving on.
Right. So, yeah, we're talking about Hercules, and I kind of brought this up to Tiki because in addition to it, kind of noticing, let's do a commentary, and again, the reoccurring thing with most of our Disney-affiliated commentaries here, there's always a mistake on the DVDs where, sometimes we get these phenomenal Disney films, these iconic ones, these ones that are deeply rooted in our nostalgia, but you know what the big old drawback is? If you find these on DVD, no commentaries. Bugs the crap out of me. I mean, that's the reason I haven't picked it up. That's the reason I don't know. That's the reason I'm going to it on Netflix. I don't have any.
With some of those early Disney DVDs, it was kind of scattered. It was kind of a mixed bag. Hunchback had a commentary, if I remember.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, so it was just kind of like, you know what I mean? And then for a while with the Diamond Collection or the Gold Collection, they were very consistent with the commentaries, and then they just fell off a cliff.
Oh, yeah. So just to make up for that, we're gonna give it a good old fan commentary, just to kind of some fond feelings we have, and give it some credit where credit's due. And Tiki, what's your story with this movie?
Okay, my story with this movie is I have more nostalgia for this movie in regards to Kingdom Hearts than I do for the actual movie. That's to say, like, I remember spending a lot of time trying to beat the Ice Titan and the Fire Titan, and they were unlockable bonus bosses in Kingdom Hearts, and they were very frustrating. And I also remember the iconic Cerebus fight in Kingdom Hearts. So there's a lot of cool stuff in Kingdom Hearts revolving around this movie.
The Ice Titan was a pain.
What?
The Ice Titan was a pain.
That's what I'm saying, dude. We'll get there. We'll get there.
The giant Rock Titan was pretty easy. All you had to do was slash at his leg, and that was easy.
Yeah, but the Ice Titan, man, he was brutal.
It took me like 10 times to beat him.
So, folks, you can tell, like, some of these bosses in Kingdom Hearts were some of the hardest in the game. That's why I guess me and Jacob both kind of have a fondness for it. Hades is a character I love, but having said that, I remember watching this a lot in elementary school and middle school, and I got kind of sick of it. It was one of those things where, you know, if it was like a rainy day or something like that, like, oh, throw on Hercules because it's Greek mythology and it's educational. You know what I mean? It's one of those. I mean, I'm being dead serious. It's like we would take notes and like, okay, which of these gods appears? You know, and it's like. So I just kind of got worn out by the movie, and so by the end of middle school, I was like, ah, fuck Hercules. I'm so sick of it. Having said that, I just literally rewatched it right before we went on air, and it holds up a lot. I have a few issues with it that we'll get into. I don't think it's in the top half of the 90s Disney movies, but having said that, of course, that's a very, very strong competition. So with that in mind, I guess, BlueDragonFive, what's your story?
Well, here's my main story. Again, just to kind of keep it brief, I always had a lot of nostalgic fondness for this. I mean, I just remember one of my most vivid memories of this movie because I loved it so much as a kid. And I think the reason I'm really going to kind of cling on to during this commentary is that rewatching and re-examining it, I'm finding a lot of really great stuff. Again, it's been years since I've watched this one again. I've seen clips here and there, but I mean, it's been years since I give it like a full watch. Again, I don't own it on DVD because of the disappointing bonus feature. So, but seriously though, it's like I found.
As long as it's not the gong. Oh gosh!
All right, I'm done.
I knew we'd find some way to work that in there.
Yes, I did. Like I worked that one in there too. That was good. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. Yeah, because of the disappointing features, it's been a while since I've watched it. But I think the main point I'm going to be clinging to during this thing is re-examining it. It does this really interesting thing where it kind of how mythology kind of inspires our superheroes today. This was Disney's first stab at a superhero movie. And
this is Superman the movie. This is literally like Dragon. We've been talking about Superman the movie in regards to that Steven Universe episode, but this is kind of like the next level. It's like the feature film equivalent of an homage to Superman the movie.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, because it's been so long. It's kind of right off Hercules. Oh yeah, well we know Hercules. Sure. It's just kind of it's about the hero Hercules, but you re-examining. Oh my God, they really did kind of a lot of formulas from superhero
it's literally
films,
the same exact format as the Richard Donner Superman. Same exact structure.
But think about how interesting that is, Tiki. Superman, the character, and superheroes in general borrow a lot from mythology, and this is a grand example of them kind of fleshing out. It's Disney's fascinating analysis of of the superhero mythology and how it inspires other superheroes in the culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting little examination. I found some points in the movie that really get interesting. But I remember as a kid, because again, as a kid, it's no secret, I love Batman the animated series. But one of the first things I drew, when you do all the drawings and you hang them on the fridge and on the doors and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, right.
I remember Hercules really influenced my drawing style as a kid. That was one of my favorite things to draw because I love the. Don't wrong, it's evolved over time. I mean, the very initial kind of kid-like drawing I had was of superheroes, and one of the. Again, this is Disney's superhero movie at the time. I guess subconsciously I still knew that. Like, oh my God, yeah, it's kind of Disney superhero movie instead of Batman. It's a guy. He's got a really cool design. He's got a really cool costume at the time as a kid. It's like what I love so much about it is you can see kind of the geometric shapes put into the guy. He's a square head. He's got kind of the round, the two circles for the chest. And what I did as a kid, and then Hercules I believe is at fault for this. I just drew a series of circles for the arms. They have a torso, which is like two circles and I guess like a brick, and then you have just the arms are made of like five circles each. It was ridiculous. Bear in mind, but I was saying it was like that the style of this film and just kind of it was such kind of a cool action movie from Disney. It was always kind of like it's Disney superhero movie. Always kind of stuck with me. And it's always been on the back of my mind. Of course, Hades steals the show in places, but I mean,
Hades is amazing. I think Megara is one of the best Disney love interests fucking ever. I'm just gonna rave about her when we get to her.
I got a surprise for you about her. You'll see. But anyway, so this. This movie's always stuck with me, and the last thing I'll say on it before we move, I know I'm talking too much about it. Yeah, he's got a lot of love for it, which we'll get into. But last thing to say is that for the longest time, even to this day, I mean, I didn't really kind of re-rank them or anything, but I know for the longest time this is in my top 10 of my favorite Disney films because it was just so ingrained in my childhood of just being such a great kind of, again, just being such a fun movie. Just it's the origin of the superhero done by Disney. It was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Jacob?
Well, I mean, for a while I actually fell out of I never actually had the tape to watch it on. I actually caught glimpses of it at school, but I didn't watch it. Didn't watch all of it, but I did like the looks of it. One day I actually saw it on Toon Disney and decided to record it. And I fell in love with it. This was during middle school, by the way. So I actually got into it kind of late. But a lot of things still resonated with me, and I understood the story, several of the references, and stood out as quite unique among the animated movies that I've seen at the time.
Yeah.
And many years later, I started to see as I learned more about mythology, I realized how brilliant some of the historical references were, how some of the historical jokes were, and reading a particular Greek story, I discovered a very, very dirty joke in it, which was friggin' hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Which is friggin' hilarious if you understand the reference. There's a lot of subtle, dirty humor in this movie. I was surprised to see that. But the story is interesting. It keeps me on edge, and knows would be lighthearted and dramatic. It's well written. Definitely not the best one, but definitely far from the worst.
Oh yeah. Okay, Sandy?
Alright, so I go way back. I'm kidding. No, I have no history of this movie whatsoever. I saved some time there. I literally I've never seen this movie before, except for I don't know, I finished it maybe 2 hours ago, and
okay.
So,
well, we have a fresh perspective on it. That's cool.
Nice. Yeah.
But I have to say it is very vibrant with all its designs and everything. It's definitely not all the other Aladdin or Beauty and the Beast, where it stays with that kind of same look. I like how it goes out of the way to make it feel more abstract, I guess.
The look is actually inspired by Greek statues.
Yeah. And that was really nice, and I feel like I can hear Hunchback of Notre Dame in the score, which is kind of
same
cool,
people.
but yeah, I know. So
except for the gospel singers.
Yeah.
The gospel singers are the weakest part of the movie for me.
Well, the Gargoyles are far superior musical act than the gospel singers.
I
love a guy like you. That's a great musical number.
I've always heard that it's not the best Disney movie, but I've never heard that it's the worst. So it's somewhere in between.
It's fun. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
All right. So with that in mind, folks, so setting up this commentary, we're going to be doing what?
I had some background.
Okay, really cool.
Real quick, folks. Here's a really interesting background how we got this movie. This was during the and you'll see in Waking Sleep Beauty there was a period in Disney's creative kind of transition phase from it was 1984 to 1994, right, Tiki? That was the gap.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
In that gap, I believe there was this period within the early 90s, I want to say, late 80s, early 90s, where they had this thing called the Gong Show, where basically they would emulate the Gong Show by they'd have the animators in a room, they'd pitch their ideas, and if they didn't fly, then gong, and many ideas are pitched during this, such as Sleeping Beauty and Little Mermaid, all sorts of ideas. Mm-hmm. And the idea that related to this movie that was pitched, the first thing that was pitched was the Odyssey, doing an animated adaptation of the Odyssey,
which I would still like to see.
No, it should be cool. Again, it'd be kind of hard to do because that's a really adult story, but,
you could do it. If you could do Hunchback, I think if you can do Hunchback, you can do the Odyssey.
I know, exactly. I mean, there would have to be alterations, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you could tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, tone it down definitely could be interesting.
Disney's
Fine. Certainly. Point is, so the Odyssey was the idea that was pitched, but that eventually fell through. You know, just kind of hit a road bump. You know, just kind of as many films tend to do. They go into development heck for a while. Anyway, so then there was an animator, Joe Hadir, if I'm remembering correctly. Joe Hadir, he repitched the idea of like going strong with the Greek mythology angles. Like, yeah, that's still a good angle. Let's pursue something of that. And he was really interested by the story of Hercules. You know, because in the end he makes some heroic decisions. He has like an arc of like kind of learning to be more heroic. You know, makes his mistakes along the way until again the ultimate arc of Hercules.
And Hercules is kind of like, besides Odysseus, he is kind of like one of the prototypical hero's journey arcs for sure.
Actually, I have a point of trivia for that.
Yeah, go ahead.
His actual Hercules is actually his Roman name.
Yeah.
His actual Greek name is Heracles.
Yes, it is. The Spirit made that painfully clear.
This movie is pretty, it's pretty damn inaccurate when it comes to some of the portrayals of the gods, especially Hera.
Yeah, oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, big time, but we'll get into that a little bit.
Oh yeah, we will. We'll touch on that.
They're not the first ones to refer to the Greek character as Hercules, though, so...
Yeah. You'll still call him Hercules. That's what I've been growing up with. You know, every time I hear Hercules, no, you're saying it wrong. Really,
I don't have a problem with it. Yeah,
they're absolutely.
They're definitely. I mean, the Greek here has been referred to as Hercules for ages, but I'm just saying.
I know, yeah. Anyway, so after, here's what brings our fearless directors into. And by the way, our directors, John Musker and Ron Clements, who are our team on Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Treasure Planet, Princess and the Frog, and interestingly, Tiki, Moana coming up.
I can't wait.
My favorite team.
Don't get me started on Moana. When's that thing coming out?
I want to say, isn't it November this year?
Yep, November this year.
Disney, we need a trailer. Come on, stop teasing us.
Wait till next month. We're gonna get it with Finding Dory. Relax.
That's true. Finding Dory. Okay.
Those are my favorite my favorite directing team at this.
They're very good.
And it's my favorite subject matter ever because I'm Tiki and I love all things Polynesia. So
you will put hang up the whole skirt for now. All right, we got some other stuff to talk about.
Oi, I love Dole Whips. All right.
Anyway, so here's how they became involved in the project. It's an interesting story. I learned something I really never knew about this here. So after Aladdin and following Aladdin in 1993, they were developing Treasure Planet. They were developing it this early. They were really trying to do a Treasure Planet movie until eventually that came to fruition. But see, the production was halted right after Aladdin. After coming off the big success of Aladdin, they pretty much got pulled by the antlers. You know, because that project was kind of shelved temporarily, they took on Hercules because it's the interesting story. They're big superhero fans. That's a big reason they took on this movie. You know, they like the comics, which is probably why we have such a Richard Donner Superman vibe in this movie, perhaps. And importantly, last thing I'll mention with the design here is that's how they got involved in the project. And a big reason for the kind of the really cool, different design we had in this movie is there's this guy, Gerald Scarfe. Gerald Scarfe did the design work. Gerald Scarfe. He famously, the main thing he's known for is he did a very famous cover for Pink Floyd once. Mm-hmm. Point is, he kind of did all these sketches of this really kind of abstract style, a lot of like the curved edges and like little like the line work and all stuff kind of curving in, especially with the faces, how they kind of curve in there with the weird chins. It was like all because of this guy, and he really kind of had that. In addition to looking at the Greek statues and doing a lot of research into that sort of stuff, like the pottery and all that stuff, the vases, vases. All of that. The point is they did their homework on this one. They did a lot of good stuff. Of course, they had to make some alterations because Greek mythology can be really screwed up sometimes.
Yeah.
And of course they added clothes.
Yeah. Well, that's unless you want an NC-17 rating, you can't.
No nudity.
I think the closest Disney ever got to that was the Pastoral Symphony.
And the new scene in Zootopia.
Well, oh God, fair enough.
Zootopia. And again, I didn't hate him as much as I thought it was.
Maybe Jessica Rabbit's crossing a little bit of a line there.
Okay, let's not.
Oh, and let's not forget the naked woman in The Rescuers. Let's not forget that.
Oh gosh, we don't need to go there.
And Little Mermaid.
All right.
Little Mermaid.
All right.
Okay. I'm done.
Dumb me up.
Shut up already.
All right, I'm done.
Dumb me up, you meathead yous.
Alrighty.
All right. Format, Tiki.
Okay, so you're done back. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We're good. We are good. Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, folks, if you want to watch along with us, we're going to try our level best to record this commentary and have a running conversation where you don't necessarily need to be watching, but if you do want to watch along as a commentary track, what you want to do is you want to play the Disney logo that plays before this movie, and then you want to press pause. You want to press pause right as the Disney logo fades to black, and press pause right when you get to that black. Once you're there, what?
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Once you're there, sync it up, and then we will count up 1, 2, 3, go. Once you hear the go, press play, and hopefully it'll work. So,
A lot better than last time.
hopefully, fingers crossed, right? So,
are you guys watching this on Netflix or YouTube or something else, or iTunes?
I am watching it on Netflix.
Alright, so am I. Yeah, so am I.
I would prefer not to disclose where I'm watching it from.
Yes, because you could be subject to litigation, but we're not gonna.
We're not gonna go there.
Alright.
Yay, legal.
Yay!
I mean, perfectly legal, right?
Pirates, soaring the internet seas. All right. Okay.
We're all legal here.
Yeah. I mean, we're legal, right? Yeah.
You three are totally fine. You three are totally fine. Don't worry
Yes,
about it.
we are. It's like everyone in this room is fine and not breaking any laws that could get anyone prosecuted, right? Yes. Okay.
All right, we've established that. So, are you ready, folks?
Yes.
I'm ready.
Okay, count up in 1, 2, 3, go!
All right.
There we go.
So guess who our narrator is?
Carlton
Who is
Heston.
our narrator?
Bingo.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Except I kind of don't like the way they just kind of do away with him.
Oh, it's like it's a fun celebrity gag. It's like, hey, I guess if you can guess who it is or not, just narrator is completely made useless because we're having singing narrators to the whole thing.
But this is like the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management moment of this movie.
You can't make everything a Tiki-related thing, Tiki. Come on.
No. I'm just saying how Enchanted Tiki Room under new management, it was basically like, old things are lame.
So what do you think of the Gospel Muse Choir here?
I don't like it personally. I think it's the weakest element of the film.
I think it's better in some places than others. And you're right, we technically don't need them except for the montage, really.
The montage is great. Zero to Hero is one of the better songs.
Yeah.
I think we have one too many of these kind of moments. I think it kind of slowed down the film in a way. Having said that, this is a decent intro. I like the art style and everything they're going for. Sets everything up well.
I do like this though. Like in the opening here, this is actually really good kind of exposition and setup for the main plot of the film with our four titans here. I mean that's a cool little device there. And also what I kind of like about the muses is in the moments in the beginning you really get to see like some of them really they really are kind of the Greek choir for Hercules. They're big fans of it, saying we had to go back in this guy's store. Like we like this guy. That was just nice.
They're basically serve the same function as the street peddler from Aladdin.
Pretty much, yeah. It was just not as
narratively
not as hilarious as the street peddler because that was Robin Williams.
No, but they run throughout the film, unlike Robin Williams. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously the genie runs throughout the film, but I digress.
I'm gonna get into places where they don't work for me, and some of their songs, like with Meg later on, I'm not crazy about.
Wait, you're not talking about I Won't Say I'm in Love, are you?
Yeah.
You motherfucker!
You
motherfucker!
Oh, you calm down, mister. I'll put you in the corner.
Oh, we'll get there.
I'll come over there. I'll put you in the corner, mister.
And
wait. What'd you say, BlueDragonFive? What'd you say?
I'll put you in a corner, mister.
No. What'd you say that made him say that?
Like that song.
Oh, I didn't like the Meg song they have later on. The whatever the song's called when they're something about love. Right? What's the name?
I Won't Say I'm in Love.
Yeah, that's the one. Not crazy about it.
All right, moving on. We'll get there. We'll have a big old debate about it later.
So let's talk about the difference with Hera real quick.
Okay, Dragon, do you want to explain? It's pretty brutal.
Let's not spend too much time on it. Let's just say Hera really hated Hercules, and she's kind of the bad guy because Zeus had an affair with his adoptive mom in this version.
Oh,
Essentially,
God.
with the moral woman, which is the birth of Hercules, she hates Hercules because he's the spawn of an affair, and she's one that tries to have him killed by a snake, right?
Uh-huh.
Essentially, that's it. We do get to see the snake thing in the movie, much more hilarious and upbeat, though.
The first time that I saw this movie, I literally thought that Hera was going to be like the villain in disguise. You know what I mean? Like the villain behind the scenes, kind of pulling the strings.
When I first saw this,
Hades was kind of the distraction.
When I saw this, I knew nothing about Greek mythology. So
I don't know. I mean, I learned about Greek mythology from a young age, so I guess it was always drilled into me. So I always kind of associated this. Like I said, my teachers use this as a learning tool, so I did kind of, and they did point out the differences between Hera and Hercules. So
how cool is Zeus is Rip Torn?
Zeus is awesome. He's one of the better Disney fathers, I think, right up there with King Triton.
And Hercules is one of the few characters that actually have both parents.
That's very true, and they both live throughout the whole movie. I mean, who would have thunk?
Yeah, I mean,
they are immortal gods, so that's a point on their side. But
if I would say he's better than Triton, in my opinion, as a father at least.
Oh, he is better than Triton. I'm just saying, like, Triton is kind of like Triton's a fun character, though.
Yeah, he is. Again, Triton's not bad. I'm just saying I kind of go more.
Although
Jane's
dad is also awesome. Let's also give points to Jane's dad.
Yeah, we lump in every father to compare. I'm just saying between those two guys. Come on, I mean, Professor Porter is freaking awesome.
Yeah, Mr. Porter is pretty amazing. All right.
Oh, by the way, this film, they developed a really cool technique there. You just threw a lightning bolt. There's this thing they call a morph, where the clouds go back in the shape. It's a really cool little effect they got there.
Here's Hades.
Oh yeah, here he is, folks. You know who originally did the voice of Hades?
Who?
John Lithgow. They recorded John Lithgow doing the lines, but they, it wasn't quite jiving. And James Woods was such a natural fit for it, and you can tell in the face they studied a lot of his, recording sessions. You can definitely read the James Wood in the face there. And just props to James Woods. He always sticks by this character because his kids love it and everything. So he's never not done this character in animation.
It's his favorite. It's just one of his favorite roles.
Absolutely.
I can see why.
I can't wait to see.
I'm sorry, Dragon. Go ahead.
I can't wait to hear him as Lex Luthor in the new Justice League show coming out.
Yeah. James Woods, he's right up there. Like, I honestly think one of the better Disney performances is John C. Scott in Rescuers Down Under, or George C. Scott. I apologize, but he's right up there. He's right up there. I think he's kind of the closest thing in the mainstream Disney canon we have to a George C. Scott type performance.
I love just the charisma he brings to Hades, and like in this scene that just passed, where you get a sense you don't root for Hades, but you get Hades. Like usually he's jealous of his brother, and like everyone's kind of laughing, he's being all palsy with him. He doesn't quite realize, I'm doing actually the grunt work here that you've assigned me gratefully.
And keep in mind, in mythology, Hades was always the tragic figure. He was never really the villain. I mean, he was just kind of like, he had a shitty job. I mean, that's really kind of his role in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love Cerberus here.
Have you guys ever seen the Hercules animated show?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it off and on. I don't remember too much of it, but it was fine.
Yeah, but remember, like, they brought
I love his lair. I love the entrance to his lair. It's such a cool set piece.
Yeah, they brought Cerberus back as kind of like his dog. He always played with, or was always yelling at. It was pretty funny.
In comes Pain and Panic.
With me, Cerberus is one of those things I always associate with Kingdom Hearts.
That was a Pain boss fight too. And speaking of Pain and Panic.
Yeah, so excellent actors playing these guys. We got I love Matt Frewer. Matt Frewer is Panic, our blue guy here. Panic, it's Matt Frewer. He was Sid the Squid in Batman the Animated Series. He was Moloch in Watchmen. Guy's a character actor.
Right.
Does an excellent job. He's like one of those kind of like the Weasley guys usually plays. Excellent.
If you think about it, Pain and Panic are kind of like they're in a similar vein to the emotions from Inside Out, because they both represent, it's like pain is obviously like the physical embodiment of pain. Panic is always like anxiety ridden and everything, much like fear.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this plot device creeps me the hell out. This thread, the thread of life.
How cool was this? The world building in this movie is excellent. I really do think so.
Yeah,
I love like the little elements like.
I love this one. 5,000,001 kids.
This movie there's so much '90s coursing through this Greek mythology. It's really funny.
I honestly think that's kind of a weak point of it. I don't think it mixes the pop culture in as well as Aladdin does, because I think with Aladdin it makes more sense because the genie is like, all time consuming, so he would know those pop culture references. I don't know. That's just a brief little nitpick I have with it. I'm not as crazy.
I can see where you're coming from. Yeah.
That's fair, Tiki. But I got to tell you, rewatching, I found a way around it. When we get there, I'll point it out.
And you forgot to mention who faces Panic.
Yes, so the voice of Panic's Matt Frewer. The voice of Pain is Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah, Bobcat
Goldthwait.
It was great. It was great. That guy. He's also a director. You guys know he directed The World's Greatest Dad, Robin Williams.
Oh yeah, we should talk about that movie sometime. That's a fucked up movie.
Yes, it is. Very dark.
Oh man. Oh man.
Well, I'd be afraid to talk about it, though, given what the subject matter is.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's very okay.
But seriously, Pain and Panic here. They're such a great comedy team. I love these guys. It's like they're kind of like two Smitties put together from Peter Pan, you know?
Oh god.
That's what they are.
I love this eye thing.
Oh yeah. Such a cool device, and this little sequence here of them kind of looking into the future. As love charms the fates, and come on, show me the future. What do you say? Come on, look lovely. Have you lost weight? All that stuff. Our directors here, I just want to point out, they've always been great on kind of the reaction comedy. You know, like a scene's going on, then we just cut back to the reaction. We've seen that all over the place with the genie from Aladdin, just kind of cut to
definitely.
Hilarious reaction here in the midst of this awesome kind of backstory, well, not backstory, this premonition. We have Hades saying, "Oh, that's a downer." Yes, what? Hades rule.
Hades rules.
That's the thing. It's like, did he say Hades rule or Hades rules?
I think he says Hades rules.
I think if it's rule, it's funnier because it's more accurate. Hades rule. I'm ruling currently. Yeah.
Okay, one of my favorite animation bits for a villain. They always have really fun animation bits for villains, but I love his changing from red to blue. I think that's one of the most clever things they've ever done for a villain to distinctly, kind of point out his visual style and his emotion and everything. It's so good.
This is gonna sound so minor, but I just love they have the elbows just right on Hades. It feels so real world elbow. It's like he doesn't work out or anything. He's a guy with a lot of power and he's huge, but he's not in shape. Also, later on, it's going to get in a really great particular way later on, but I love its setup here. The whole the plan here is to get Hercules to drink the poison to make him mortal. Then
this is Krypton. We're watching the Krypton scene right now.
Well, again, it's not precisely Krypton.
I know it's not the same exact circumstances, but you know what I mean.
I'm saying when he's adopted.
This is like the prologue of the Richard Donner movie.
I do love they have the format of the Richard Donner film of your first act.
That's what I'm saying.
In the utopian society, then it's him growing up, and then it's him in the big city. Literally, the 3-act structure.
It's the same exact format. Yeah, it's great.
Oh my god, that no still gives me chills when he says Rip Torn just top of his lungs. No.
James Earl Jones, you will never be able to top that. You hear me? You hear me?
Okay. Hey. But I love
that is how you do a no in a movie.
They really have a great sense of urgency here, don't they? It's like you get a sense these guys just left and they're just trying to get this kid out of the way as soon as possible.
Oh yeah.
But here's the thing I love about Hades' magic. It feels very lawyer-esque, which is Hades. He's always a deal maker, like every
lawyer/used car salesman.
Yeah, exactly. I just love the legalities of Hades' magic. You have to drink every drop, or later on, it's like if something goes wrong, then the magic's undone. I just love the legalities of it so much.
So from this point on in the commentary, I'm always going to refer to these two as Ma and Pa Kent.
Essentially, they are Ma and Pa Kent. Again, so this is absolutely kind of the Smallville years of Hercules. Really.
Oh yeah, totally.
Found by a kindly couple of farmers, by the way. They are farmers.
They're totally farmers. It's so perfect.
And again, it's kind of neat how they took throughout this film.
There's the snakes.
Yeah, there are points of the Hercules mythology here that they did adapt, but they made a lot more kid-friendly in a good way, though. It's like it's still pretty fun. It feels very kind of energetic, like a Richard Donner Superman. Like, okay, well, the kid's going to demonstrate a super
right.
These are bad guys. We don't care if you torture some snakes. And look, he's always such a cute little baby. He's done that. I love the if runner.
Oh yeah, that's a great callback.
If it's good.
It is good.
Matt Frewer. I want Matt Frewer to be in more things. That guy's so good. Yeah, this is sad.
Again, it makes me weirded out to see Hera mourn over Hercules. I can't disseparate the two of them.
It's always funny that Wonder Woman, she always, like, you know, her catchphrase is practically, like, Hera, help us. It's always talking about Hera.
That's true.
Hera's the Amazon's god, essentially. It's the one of their big gods.
Like I said, I'm always suspicious about her. It's like she's got a plan. She's got a plan.
Okay, well, Tiki, we now know we can't still stem on that because we know absolutely Zeus did not have an affair with the human woman.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced.
What do you mean you're not convinced? You saw it. Hercules is born a god. He's not born.
I know. I'm just playing around.
Wait, who are you talking about now? Which character?
Okay, let's get back to the movie. So this is. I mean, it's fine as exposition, but I just think it's kind of lazy songwriting.
The funny thing, like, the songs I feel in this movie are not really all that memorable. I mean,
yeah, well, Alan Menken did these songs too, which is kind of sad when you think about it like that.
I mean, I do love a couple of them. One of them that BlueDragonFive doesn't like, that we'll get into.
I love the One Last Hope kid.
What about Zero to Hero?
Zero to Hero is fun.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I'm just saying my favorite is probably One Last Hope. Oh, by the way, fun fact: the kid that's voicing young Hercules here, this is Josh Keaton, the best Spider-Man in animation.
Nice.
Also, Hal Jordan on the unfortunately canceled Green Lantern animated series. He was really young in this.
Sean Astin voiced him in Kingdom Hearts.
Huh? Oh, by the way, I don't know if he animated young Hercules, but I know older Hercules is definitely... He's animated by a very famous villain animator. It was an artistic challenge for him. Andres... yeah, thank you. Andres Deja, he did the animation for Jafar and Scar, oddly enough. Especially what happens with Scar in this movie. But yeah, he won the challenge of animating a hero, so he took on Hercules, kind of the earnest, very Clark Kent-esque superhero.
So this is like one of 5 Jim Cummings walk-on roles.
Yes, because our directors here, they do love working with Jim Cummings.
I mean, it's crazy. He has so many voices for this movie.
He's good at what he does.
Okay, these guys are douches, obviously.
They are. They're not even clever douches, that's the thing.
I know. I think they're kind of weak.
That's the best you could come up with? Hercules?
Jerky Frisbee players.
And you would say that to his face? The guy could rip your face off. Again, it's like the funny thing, if Clark Kent always hides his powers, this is what happens when you don't hide your powers.
Yeah.
You're a town pariah.
This is Zack Snyder's Superman right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zack Snyder's Superman.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Perfect example.
I always love it when as a kid, I just went nuts for it when he's just holding a giant column, moving around like it's like he's moving like a stairway or something.
Right. I always feel bad for him in this scene.
Yeah. Oh, this is Wayne Knight, by the way.
Oh, it is Wayne Knight. You're right. I'm sorry. It's not Jim Cummings.
Jim Cummings, he's I think he's somewhere in. I know he's later on.
He's the old man.
Yeah, he's the old man. Yeah,
and he's the guy with the mustache, the big guy.
Right.
With the mustache.
Like he plays multiple people.
Yeah. He's in a. I don't know if the television animation is the same for feature length because you get paid for one role for doing 3. That's the thing. Like Max, you are.
Hercules. Seriously, how lame of a. Hercules is like he's a jerk when clearly that guy is the jerk.
Well, I mean, the old use of jerk, Tiki, was that it was, when someone's like ignorant of their own power, and it kind of is that, but still, like, it's still lame.
It's yeah.
I love the Greek. I just love kind of the Greek design. Like, it looks like all of these designs could be on the vases or the pots, like turned to the side, you know.
I hear you.
So I'm saying, like, I looked at Wayne Knight's character, kind of pointed in profile there. He's just like, the nose is pointed. It looks like.
Human. I'm sorry, I wanted to do that one time.
Did you guys see the mule or the donkey in the scene? When he's just shaking his head back and forth.
Just Pa Kent and Clark on the hill.
Yeah. Of course, was
I mean, this is just straight out of fucking Smallville, and I love it.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite parts from the Richard Donner Superman is the whole Pa Kent giving Clark the big lesson. Son, I know that you are here for a reason. It doesn't quite have the same gravitas in this version, but still, it's a nice scene.
It's nice. And it's far better than Man of Steel, where it's basically like, let a bus full of kids die, son. Maybe that's what you should do.
Okay, all right.
Maybe that's what you should do, son. Maybe you should let a bus full of kids drown. Maybe
all right, you got your licks in. Are you happy?
That's Paul Kent's lesson. All right, I'm done.
I'm talking about good Glenn Ford Paul Kent.
All right. Okay, so here's the big kind of radio single for this movie.
Yeah.
But ironically enough, it's cut up to shreds. It's like it's 4 parts long. It's very disjointed. I mean, I like it in the parts, but I just wish in the movie it flowed together more.
Yeah.
It starts and stops.
Like it feels like there's like a couple major plot elements that should be drawn out longer, but instead they're just shoved in between the parts of the song.
Right.
Like him leaving home, or him actually meeting his father. That's just shoved in between his song.
That's what I'm saying. Like, here we go. It's like say goodbye to Mom, Pa Kent for like 5 seconds before continuing on with the song.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, I think they do in this scene though. While the break in the music here, I think there is kind of a nice scene here. Them just kind of communicating. We found you, and here's your actual name, and it means your father, the gods probably know what your story is. It's a nice goodbye scene.
It just, like I said, it just bothers me that the song's broken up though. I mean, I don't know how they. And also one of the things I want to talk about with this song is I think it's funny that Hercules is one of the few males to get an I Want song in Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Because usually it's the Disney princesses that get the I Want song. And Meg kind of gets an I Want song, but we're gonna talk about that song. I love that song. I would put it in my top 10 favorite Disney songs.
Doesn't Aladdin technically get an I Want song?
Are you talking about one Jump Ahead?
Oh no, I'm talking about Riff Raff Street Rat.
Yeah, that's One Jump Ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I wouldn't necessarily consider that an I Want song.
I'm just saying like.
Maybe the reprise of that technically. All right, let's talk about that.
I know, Proud of Your Boy was definitely one, but they cut that one out. That was
yeah.
Song. I mean, this is the good part of the song. When he's kind of making his way to the town. I think the rest of it, you're right, does complicate things.
Like, honestly, after he has the conversation with his father and he starts singing, I was kind of taken aback. I was like, oh my god, like, this is really chopped up. I like the scene. I like the scene in context. This is a good scene. It's just, it kind of disrupts the flow of the song.
Yeah, it does. Like, this is a pretty big piece of the story, and they're just shoving it in between.
Right.
Yeah, I'll give you that. You're right about that. Again, I know Menken might have done the score for this movie too.
He did.
Yeah, I wonder how involved he was in the songs. Because I think he had a partner on this too. I'm not sure. I know some other guys.
I do like the animation on this stone Zeus. I think that was a clever way to do it.
This I love just this idea of doing the Jor-El thing, but having it be like he's freaked out by
this is the Fortress of Solitude in the Donner version. It's so accurate.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm telling you.
I love how he runs away from it first.
Like, how would you... It's this great illogical logic. If you're going to talk to your father, who is a god, where's he going to be? Well, a temple.
Right.
But again, I just love the immediate freak out when he found, oh my god, it's a giant statue's coming for me, I'm running! It's like, that's the scene you didn't see in the Richard Donner case. He sees a giant hologram of his father's head. He should be taken aback by it just a little bit at first. You're like, oh my god, it's a giant floating head.
Yeah, oh, yeah, hi, Dad.
Speaking of Marlon Brando, Sandy, weren't you just watching The Godfather?
Yeah, it was.
So there you go. That's a nice little tie-in. All right.
Hercules, never make an offer you can't refuse.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Well, wait, what about The Godfather? How does this tie in?
I guess
because Brando's in the original Superman movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I guess Zeus could be a little godfather here.
Nice.
But seriously, this is great. Again, I love how pleasant our Zeus is here. He's not like the whole like, son, you must do this. He's like, son, if you want to.
Hades, pleasantries.
No, seriously, Zeus is such a lovable father. He's like always like, oh my boy, it's been years since I've seen him. He feels like such a proud father. I love that. He's all happy go, like all good moments between these two until that he's like he has his stern moments where he just kind of he's like the father that doesn't want to be the bad guy in the relationship. Maybe the mother's more the rule maker, you know, because we saw this version of Zeus is a real fun loving guy. He leans back and says, "Oh, I made a funny, guys, laugh with me."
Pegasus.
Oh, yeah. Pegasus was cool, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's really fun.
A magnificent horse with the brain of a bird.
I'm not sure how to take that.
I think Pegasus is right up there with the horse from Tangled as one of the better Disney horses.
Oh, yeah. I just love that idea. He communicates by giving life to the statue.
Here we have the last of the song, and don't get me wrong, it's very triumphant. I do like this moment, but it's just...
You're right.
I mean, could you imagine if the Hunchback song... And now also, that's another male who gets an I Want song is Hunchback, but... Yeah. Could you imagine if that song was split into 3 parts?
I can actually do a good rendition of Out There.
Oh, yeah, it's a good song.
This is a beautiful shot, though.
Oh, yeah. But again, I just love that how he kind of Zeus communicates his message by giving life to the statue at the end. You see, like he literally strikes it with lightning. It's like a phone.
And nice shot of the planets up there.
Oh yeah.
Like showing how close it is.
Oh yeah. Yes. So the great Danny DeVito. Let me prep you guys here. Yeah. So Danny DeVito actually had a funny story. He initially turned down this role because he wanted to give some other people a shot, like because they went to Ed Asner and Ernst Borgnine. And,
I would love Ed Asner in this role. Come on, that would have been amazing.
Again, Danny DeVito said, "Look, give them a shot." But then Red Buttons, when he was offered the role, he said, "You know, guys, you really want Danny DeVito for this part." And then he relented because, oh my God, everyone I threw the bone to, they wanted me to play the part, essentially.
I love how he's a peeping Tom here.
Oh yeah. We have this the trainer to the gods. Really, he's a dirty old satyr.
It's very much like Master Roshi.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, even Naruto, I believe they have like the pervy master, or whatever it was, like the guy in the red with the hat, you know, that guy.
You know what? Even Professor Oak's always had a thing for Ash's mom. So
are we sure about that? Did we speculate there? Is it just?
I think we speculated that, but I'm pretty sure that's canon. I think those two are a thing. But anyways,
I just love how Phil here looks like DeVito, Danny DeVito.
Well, you know what's so great about that? You know who else he's kind of modeled after? The guy that did his animation was Eric Goldberg, the guy that animated the Genius.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And you can see a lot of Goldberg from the 90s in this.
Oh, yeah. It's practically a caricature of Goldberg.
Oh, seriously, DeVito, as much as we would have loved Ed Asner, DeVito, he owns this part, though. He does.
I would like to hear Ed Asner just record some lines for this, though.
I just want Ed Asner for everything, Tiki. I can't just put that in everything, you know?
I know, but he's... Anyways.
Pegasus tries to get in.
It's kind of funny, in the DC universe, he voiced Hephaestus, one of the gods, so it's kind of, you get a bit of your cake and eat it too.
Funny thing about Rip Torn, though, he actually did a voice as Hephaestus in God of War 3.
Nice.
Where Corey Burton voiced Zeus, who voiced Zeus in the Disney's Hercules animated series.
Right.
Kind of weird how it worked out.
So let me say this, guys. I just want to point this out. This is my favorite. Even when I was a kid, I still love this idea, and going back to it, I still love all the really... I got more stuff out of it rewatching it years later. I love Phil's story in this movie. It's my favorite part of this movie. I love that Phil has this really great idea here where it's... He was the trainer to the gods. You know, he was the Burgess Meredith to the gods. He trained them, and he used to be the big deal. He used to be famous. He always wanted his guys to get through, but they always got taken down. And the biggest example, the reason this guy has a big chip on his shoulder is because one of the most famous successes have the most embarrassing of flaws. Achilles with the heel. And I just love the idea. That's like the biggest embarrassment. That's why he's retired, because Achilles was such an embarrassment. He's just, okay, look, I can't train any more heroes. I'm too old. And it's like, that's an embarrassing flaw. My reputation's gone down the toilet. I just love that idea with Phil. And my favorite thing has been set up just now when he pulled the thing down. Yeah, the whole star portrait. That is my favorite thing. When it comes back in the end, it still makes me a little fuzzy inside. It's like, oh my god, it's such a beautiful
I love this part. Somebody across the ocean is going to think that's a UFO.
Yes, they are. And that's where it started.
The thing about Achilles that I really like is it's just another example of how this movie is so effective as an educational tool. You know, you can show kids this movie in the...
Except instead of barely getting nicked there, like Phil says, he actually got shot there with an arrow.
Right. I don't know, I'm just saying, I think this movie like really opens up a lot of conversations that teachers can have with kids about Greek mythology and the differences and everything.
I
I
love Phil
appreciate it
mocking.
for that reason.
I love Phil mocking him here.
Once upon a time.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys like this song.
I don't.
Yeah, Danny DeVito should not sing.
It's a little uncalled for.
It's not good.
For someone who can't sing, he does a pretty good job.
I'm saying it gets better with the One Last Hope thing when he actually gets it. I'm gonna admit the setup's a little clunky, but it gets a lot better when he starts with it. In my opinion.
I love how Zeus is like, "You better train him, you son of a
Which
bitch."
that is hilarious though when he strikes him with lightning. You gotta give me that one, guys.
Zeus is like, "You better train him, you son of a bitch."
Yeah, it's like this is just like the fun comedy song. It's a great montage of him getting trained by him, but at the same time it's like building up again. I just love Phil's story, and I think it plays in that really well. Where it's like I failed so many times, but you know what, kid, you actually through the course of the song gets more up on the idea of like, wait a minute, this kid actually shows potential. He could be my greatest success ever. Again, it's a triumphant song. It's a fun montage. I like it.
I love this. I love this cleanup right here when he lifts up the statue.
Oh yeah.
Whoops! Arm.
So I love the mundanity of kind of our hero trainer here. It makes sense. Again, he's kind of the Edna Mode to the superheroes. In this case,
Yeah,
he's kind of the Burgess Meredith meets Edna Mode. I mean, this movie is primarily it's Superman meets Rocky to a degree. It's Superman meets a Greek Rocky.
Yeah, you're right. Phil is definitely the Rocky element for sure. I can totally see that.
Yeah, I'm just saying primarily Phil is the main Rocky
We
element.
just see an egg right here. Speaking of Rocky.
Oh, yeah. But seriously, I think it's a really well done montage. It's
The dolls.
yeah, the damsel in
Dragon, it's a
distress.
fine montage. I'm just not crazy about the song. I just don't think it's that memorable of a song.
It's fine. I mean, again, that's why I can. If you look at it in all the course of the '90s films, and it's definitely outclassed. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what song definitely doesn't get outclassed by a lot of the
I'm gonna get you back on that one. You just wait.
Pegasus Hawk.
Again, there's what he says here. You know, it's a work of art. There is actually some heart in this song. You know, it's like and there's some clever pop culture. I think the pop culture references they get really forced in the big Zero to Hero montage.
Yeah, I don't mind the Karate Kid thing. That's just, that's like I think when it's actually like in universe, that's when it's a problem. Like the Karate Kid thing was purely stylistic.
Yeah, that's the thing. In the first act, I think all the pop culture references are absolutely fine. 2 is when you get into debatable territory. Like, I think I have an excuse for it, but you're right though. It is, it's noticeable.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I love how he just bends the sword like it's nothing.
Like as a kid, just seeing like all the superhero training, I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. The hero training.
He just unfolds it.
I kind of think that he changes to adult Hercules like rather abruptly.
Well, I mean, look, so did did the same thing in the Donner Superman,
True. I don't know. I guess with the Lion King, what was so effective about the Lion King was that they had that whole like going over the bridge, going over that log bridge thing where he slowly transitioned into being the adult lion. I like that a lot more than I like this, but it's fine. It's fine.
I like that Phil's influence on Hercules, again, with that star chart, which I'm going to be raving about at the end. That star chart, though, was the exact Hercules design. You might see that as a flaw at first, but no, it's like that is Phil's ideal of the perfect hero, and that's why he's in that costume specifically.
Oh, I think Jim Cummings voices this next character.
Yes, he does. You're right.
Yeah,
He's the River Guardian.
This is the River Guardian.
So, Tiki, you ready to have your mind blown?
Sure.
Let me tell you who voices Meg. Did you recognize the voice of Meg here, Tiki?
I feel like I should know this, but tell me.
Susan Egan, and Susan Egan, Tiki, voices Rose Quartz on Steven Universe.
No, I can totally see it. Okay, that makes Meg even more awesome in my mind. I love the hell out of it. Get into that.
Around the time she was doing this movie, too, she was Belle in the Broadway version of Beauty and the Beast, also.
Oh, okay. Okay, nice.
A lot of credentials for that Susan Egan. You know, I love Meg, but I gotta tell you though, I think well, later on, it's when she just has a little thing with her story, just still bugs the crap out of me. That's
I think Meg is kind of like a strong, independent woman type character that's done right, and it's not overbearing, and it's a part of her personality in a very enduring type of way.
Yeah.
I shall attack you with this fish.
I had an action figure of this, by the way, of Hercules armed with the fish.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
When I was a kid, I loved that thing. I was like, oh my god, it's so ridiculous.
This is what makes look when he does that. He's like, seriously, I'm being saved by this guy?
But I love just seeing the progression in Hercules' early encounter here, where he's not fully there yet. You know, he's charging literally with the head. It's not what I had in mind, but it works.
Whatever works, right?
Yeah. But I love his comedy with the damsel in distress, and he still doesn't quite have it tact, saving the damsel without a scratch on her. But you're right, Tiki. Look, I love Megara here. My only issue is I think her
she's one of the best female Disney characters ever.
Again, the only reason I hesitate to lump her in there with that, Tiki, and it's not her fault. I think the former boyfriend, the past thing that Hades throws in her face, it's just kind of shoved in there. I think we need more time.
I like that, though. I like that because the thing is, okay, defending that, I mean, we might want to wait until we get to that actual scene.
Let's just put a pin in it, then.
Okay, but I do have a defense for that.
And again, I'm not against it. I wish we had more.
Basically, I think we're left wondering why she's in debt to Hades, and I think that's a clever reveal, honestly. I think it just adds a dimension to her character. Anyways.
We'll get to it. But yeah, Jim Cummings as his River Guardian. Such a cool design for this River Guardian here. This giant blue monster and these. Remember, saying
characters always have really cool designs.
Oh, Jacob. Speaking of the dirty jokes, just want to mention I love this. There's a subtle dirty joke when he said, "Sir," he's looking down to see if he's a sir or not. It's hilarious.
There's no stop, sir.
It's love-filled. Again, Danny DeVito has the Burgess Meredith yell down packed, just getting so worked up and so amped up.
Brofist denied.
Okay, so Pegasus, this is great. I love Pegasus's arc.
He's jealous.
Hello.
They'd call me Meg. Now, what if they had any friends?
You know what's funny? They actually designed her like a column. That's why she has the lines on the dress.
I can see that. Yeah.
I love the animation on her though. She is one of the best animated characters in this film. She's like dainty, but it's like daintily, but not with an attitude.
I have nothing but praise for Meg. I mean, I could just go on about her. I think she's wonderful.
It's like all the movements, none of them are fruitless or just kind of hyped up. It's all strategic. Plus the fact that she's kind of bait. That's the idea. Hades puts her in there to be bait. That's why all the moves are very strategic when she walks.
You know who she kind of reminds me of, minus the fur coat, is how Cruella de Vil kind of walks in a way.
No, I have to see that to kind of verify that.
Cruella de Vil kind of she carries herself in a very I don't know. I'm saying maybe that's a bad comparison.
It's so funny, Tiki, because in the animated series she wears a lot of purple, and in general, I guess a lot of times they try to put her in purple. She is very much like his Lois Lane. She's snarky. She's the strong female character, and she's the.
I think the only difference between her and Lois Lane really is just the fact that the whole career thing, how she's working for Hades and that. But I think that makes her a better character than Lois Lane.
Yeah. Again, I kind of like that. We have our innocent farm boy here, played by Tate Donovan. He does a great job being kind of the earnest hero, which I really do like that about his performance.
But I do miss Sean Astin from Kingdom Hearts, though. I gotta say.
Wait, was he adult Hercules or kid Hercules?
I'm sorry, he was adult Hercules in Kingdom Hearts. I'm sorry, not
Tate Donovan actually reprised his role in 2, though.
Oh, does he? Okay.
That's
okay.
Cool. Yeah, no, Tate Donovan, he's done a lot of kind of bit parts, but also remember in animation.
Oh my God,
this is funny. I love Matt Frewer's line here where he says, "And I'm Miss Gopher."
I am a bunny.
Okay, is it too much of a nitpick to say that theme parks don't exist back then? Don't reference theme parks.
Come on, it's a little. Give it a pass.
It's a movie. Who cares?
Look, I do love the adorable
we have Air Hercs. Give it a pass. Come on.
Air Hercs is the worst reference in my opinion. Air Hercs is the most dated thing in this movie.
What about Hercules?
Yeah.
There are these things called anachronisms. That's kind of a joke. And this part's cool too.
Oh yeah, I just love Pay and Pack trying to figure out what they know. They forgot. In 18 years, they forgot. Maybe we owe money. And oh my god, this is the ultimate Hades freakout moment here. Again, I love the attitude when he gets more mad. The cool blue flame turns red and intense and fiery doom.
He's just reaching to them.
Oh my gods!
You know who Pain kind of reminds me of?
Who?
Cogsworth from Beauty and the Beast.
You know, but
His
he's.
design.
Oh, I got a little bit. I see a smidge of that.
I guess Panic would be kind of a bit like Lumiere then.
No, I still think Panic kind of reminds me of Fear.
Yeah, he does. His slimness and everything. The way his mouth kind of sags.
And the general characteristic of having a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
I tell you, I love with Hayes. I love just all the little subtle movements when he's like had them both in his arms and he's like lightly twirling them when he's saying, "And I have this little plan, and you guys just botched it up."
I would love to see someone's live action take on Hades, and I would love to. Wouldn't it be awesome if James?
We've had that.
Wouldn't it be awesome if James Woods reprised his role as Hades in live action?
Well, I've seen on Once Upon a Time they had a Hades, and it wasn't near as cool as James Woods.
But I'm saying like a proper, like, major Jungle Book style budget, not a fucking Once Upon a Time.
I mean, James Woods has kind of gotten up there in age, so he looks considerably different, but it would be great if they
Okay, yeah, but I think it would fit with the character, though, because like, Hades doesn't necessarily, anyways.
It'd be like motion capture or something.
Yeah, right, I think it could work, anyways, though.
So I love this. We're going to the big city.
You see, this reminds me of 101 Dalmatians right here. This reminds me of, stylistically.
I love the sundial guy coming up.
Yeah.
I love the world building here. You're right. Another great dirty joke, by the way. But this world building is just so great, you know.
The flag.
By a sundial. The end. I love Pegasus. He recoils like, oh my god, this guy's probably diseased or something.
Right.
I love this, again, our innocent kid in the city being our big strapping lad here, our Clark Kent, if you will, just being told by his bird
I love the Atlas reference here.
Oh, that's great. Just him saying, look, keep your eyes on the sidewalk, don't look at anyone. Yeah, so Jim Cummings is the old man, and he's our big guy with the mustache here.
Mm-hmm.
Just the most crime, again, it's not even crime, it's more so just like, just bad luck. Disasters and bad luck. Again, I think this scene does a great job of establishing what our hero's up against. It's less the fact that he could do the job, more the fact that people are just... And this is a very kind of reflective thing of society. No one's going to give anyone a chance because they're just remembering the previous worst thing that happened.
Sure.
He's just trying to usher in some idealism here, but again, the cool thing with his arc here is he doesn't quite know what a real hero is yet. He just thinks hero's a guy that does a lot of cool things to save people, which is a big part of it. But it's all about sacrifice and doing the right thing, which is all.
It kind of reminds me of in that regard. It kind of reminds me of Thor.
Very much, and again, a lot of again, a little south of Greek, but
Right.
The mythology. Actually, I think it's a little bit north.
Yeah.
Geographic-wise.
Right. But again, I love scenes like this. Just this whole superhero.
The reason why he thinks that it's doing cool things is because that's the way kind of Phil taught him.
Right.
I think Phil knows that, but he just said it takes more than sinew to be a hero. But I don't think Hercules quite grasped that yet.
Right. This is great. Again, I just love the idea people are throwing the Achilles thing.
Seriously violent, man. I was kind of surprised rewatching it.
The Achilles thing is really embarrassing, Tiki. That's what I'm saying. It's like, look, it's this button. You push it, it's like it mentioned Achilles. It's going to charge at you.
Man, you look everywhere.
Like the Rocky Raccoon freak out in Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit.
They call me Vermin!
Yeah.
Man, you look on these characters and the designs and stuff, and you see spirals all over the place.
Yeah.
Like in Hades.
Also,
that's common in Greek mythology. That's common in Greek architecture, though.
Oh yeah.
So someone in the Disney universe is making a lot of money out of red polka dot shaped underwear.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Apparently it's a family business going on for thousands of years.
Absolutely. Always boxers too,
Yeah.
So I just love this. Just Hercules like, yes, someone's in trouble, and Meg just pointed out, oh man, you really seem tore up about it.
I'm glad she called him out on that because
that's what I'm saying. Again,
line.
Meg, again, the way Susan Egan plays her here, she's very entertaining. She's got a lot of spunk in a good way. I just need more time with her. That's all. She just kind of shows up. I mean, she's set up here, but after Rise to Fame, you don't get a sense the two have really been dating or anything.
I mean, I think that we see her enough kind of like on the sidelines with Hades that we get a good development of her character. I agree that the romance is maybe a little rushed, Dragon. I will
like that's my only gripe with it, Tiki. Otherwise, I love her as a character. It's my only gripe is they kind of jump into the whole.
Is that your gripe with the song?
Well, we'll get to it. It's a little bit of that. It's a little bit of other stuff. So we'll get there.
Okay. Well, I love the song. Just kind of big. Anyways, well.
Anyway, hold off.
I know.
Again, I love heroes saving people. This is always a cool bit where he's playing it up like Superman, like, oh, kids, don't do that again.
This is totally like the cover of Superman 1 where he's he's holding up the car. Yeah.
Yeah, I love confident kind of our enduring hero being all confident here. Says, well, kids, try to be a little more careful next time. Golly geez, mister.
Just toss that to the side. And the boys turn out to be in panic.
This is where Hades is at his best here. He's just kind of on the sidelines, kind of providing commentary on what's going on. He's just taking in a sporting event.
Eating live worms.
2 thumbs, way up. Siskel and Ebert had to use a clip of that when they were talking about this movie.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
This is cool here. So, folks, in case anyone's ever curious about, what's the deal? Why is Hydra such a big thing in Marvel? And what is a Hydra anyway? Here's a general concept of what it is, folks.
If you cut off one head, 2 heads will grow.
Yep, and this is kind of like the whole full body thing looks like.
Nice CG work here.
Oh yeah, this is the great. It's like almost like kind of a cap system thing they got going on here. Where it's,
I think the CG in the scene is a little mixed. I think it's really good when it's just one head. When it gets into like the multiple heads, I think it starts to look a little funny.
I think it's stylistic enough that it's fine, Tiki. I don't think it's trying.
I'm surprised nobody heard Hades shouting.
Wait, is this the only CG creature in the entire movie?
Might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I don't think any of the other creatures are CG.
Creature, yes, but I mean, we've had a few objects there probably CG.
Was this too hard to do in 2D, I wonder?
Probably because of all the heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Titans are just like one singular body, and this is like a singular body with a lot of necks. It's probably would be like a lot easier to model in 3D than 2D.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Yeah, I remember drawing all. There's at least they once. I don't know if they were joking, but they said like 30 heads. So I don't know if there actually are 30 heads or not. But
could you imagine animating that by hand?
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, CG is probably the way to go. I think it's stylized enough in the 2D design. It works for me.
And it interacts well enough with the 2D for it to work well.
I mean, when it cuts through the head there, it looks perfectly 2D. It's like in a cool little style there.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Hydra, the boss fight in Kingdom Hearts 2 is pretty easy. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, that one was easy. Like the boss fights in the first Hercules were hard. First Hercules Kingdom Hearts were hard. The second ones were too easy.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Kingdom Hearts 2 in general was too easy, but
that's a whole other conversation. It was an epic game, though.
Yeah.
Now, Tiki, you tell me, when you're in school watching this, you got bored, especially if it's raining out during this scene. That would build the atmosphere for me. Like it's raining outside, and you're watching this on the inside. All the heads growing. It's raining. It's
just the amount of times I saw it, man. It was just kind of oversaturated for me.
That's a pretty epic scene, though. The heads growing back.
And that's what I'm saying. This scene was so. I lost my mind during the scene as a kid. I was like, oh my god, look at this. And he just keeps cutting off heads, and there's more.
It's amazing that those 2 stubby legs can hold up the entire thing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it doesn't die due to that.
Because I love just again. Our mentor on the side saying, "Would you stop with the head thing?"
I think Hercules would have realized that by now.
Well, it's like they're charging at him. He has to do something.
This is kind of where I think it starts to get a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, you think you would have realized that? I mean, like, how would the bud?
Like right there,
what else is he gonna do?
Falling through all the heads. I think
this was cool.
Yeah, this is a pretty neat shot. All this.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of the Cave of Wonders escape, just kind of stylistically how they use the CG.
Yeah.
And which head would be in charge here?
Well, if that's what he should have done to defeat him. Say, hey, which one of you is in charge? And they're going to bite each other, and that's how he wins.
Yeah. Now Hercules here, what I like this part is like he's proving it's more than just strength. He's using his brain to defeat.
Absolutely, you hit it right on the head, as these rocks have hit our.
It's more than just being strong. It's also being smart.
Again,
I think in the original mythology, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it that he flies around the heads and they strangle themselves?
It may have been. We've seen that so many times in animation. They probably figured, let's do it a little differently.
That's true. That's true. I love him with the cigarette lighter finger. That's awesome.
Now he burns it with his mouth later. Hey, smoking's evil, kids. Don't smoke out of it. Don't smoke.
Yep. Like Mr. Carfish.
Unless you're Fred Flintstone, because when I get back from a good day at the quarry, I like a Winston cigarette.
All right.
And the sun comes out.
Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
All right,
Fred Flintstone, can it?
Yeah, Tiki, you're setting a bad example for the kids watching.
Won by a landslide.
And
Okay, you see little moments right there. I think it solidifies that Meg is kind of growing attached to Hercules.
I mean, that's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
so hot. You saw it steam. Looks cool.
I love their music. Just they're so fan. There's so much fans of.
This is a fun song. I'll definitely admit it's kind of like the eye of the tiger of this movie.
Now, here's the reason I'm okay with all the kind of the '90s gags. You're on a rewatch. Like initially, I think it's because it's feeding into the point of Hercules again. He's kind of not hubris exactly, but he's just getting caught up in like the wrong things of being a hero.
Uh-huh.
It's like merchandising at its height in the '90s is representing that. Like he's doing commercials and everything, which is not what a superhero, not what a hero should do. You don't do it for the money. He's getting royalties for appearances and stuff, which he's entitled to, but still.
I love the boss correction.
Yeah.
How he works it into a rhyme.
Yeah.
But you see what I mean? It's like
I hear you.
I think just the '90s cheese just feeding into it really well.
Credit card. Credit card.
Never leave the temple without it.
Seems like Hercules is definitely getting full of himself here.
I love the Hercules store like the Disney store. That's pretty funny.
Hercules is definitely getting full of himself.
See, the action figures cracked me up too. By the way, it's a little they puff out, like
especially when he brings it up later. Hey, I have an action figure. That's how great I am.
As a kid, I wanted that action figure too. It's a little squeaky noise, It's a catchy little progression, but it's also again, it's showing that Hercules is becoming
definitely the best use of the muses in the movie for sure.
Yeah, again, he's become a little blinded by getting too big for his britches.
Living it up.
How nice is that, Tiki? And even the donkey or that has like a solid gold thing to pull. I like the chessboard thing.
And a lot of these enemies he's fighting are actually based on monsters he fought in Greek mythology.
Yes, they are.
Oh yeah. It's a fun way to kind of get in like the big highlights of the Hercules mythology.
And plugging the volcano, I believe that's also one of his labors.
This is definitely feeding into the idea. Hercules, he's doing what everyone thinks a superhero is, but he's not making the hard choices yet. He's just saving people, which is cool, but it's not the whole point.
I really like how James Wood is just kind of like up on his vantage point the whole time. It does remind me of Lex Luthor. It's very Lex Luthor-like. He's looking down on the city.
Oh yeah.
You are wearing his.
This is one time. The Air Hercs. This gag is so fun. I'm going to give the Air Hercs a pass.
Yeah.
For 18 years.
And you are wearing
his merchandise.
And then he's
all right. I'll give it a pass.
And then he's
thirsty.
Thirsty?
He offers him some, Tiki.
I'm convinced that close-up on his face is modeled after the Churning Bog.
Yeah.
It's...
I love this curve observation.
That's probably one of the funniest scenes in this movie.
The eyebrows there.
I love that he can use the smoke to accentuate his points, you know? It's just
Oh yeah.
He has those Grinch-like fingers, you know? It's just the long, pointed fingers.
Everybody's got a weakness. Pandora's the box thing, Trojan's wrong horse.
Yeah, but wasn't the Trojan horse thing actually an advantage for them?
Actually, I believe that tied into Hercules, that they have like a mention of like, maybe you should go to Hercules, ask him for some help.
That kind of bothered me. I don't know.
I love that line. I've sworn off manhandling.
Yeah.
More dirty, subtle humor.
So, I mean, look, this is fine background for him. I'm all cool with that.
I like it. Like, it's basically like the Wreck-It Ralph, you know, but in a less comedic sort of way.
Again, it's perfectly fine. I'm just saying I wish she and Hercules spent more time together after, because it looks like they've been separated all this time.
I honestly think they spend a lot more time on screen together than Simba and Nala do before they get their big love song, so I don't have a problem with it.
I mean, these two definitely have chemistry, they have an interest, but again, Hercules makes a pretty big sacrifice for you know?
Yeah.
Oh, this scene's great. Oh my god, I love this scene. This is this is kind of the Superman 2 sacrificing the power scene, in terms of like him having a disagreement with his father.
Where he begins to realize that, like, what does he mean? I'm doing all these great deeds, but shouldn't I be considered a hero now?
Exactly. You know, again, I love that they're playing with so many. Again, this is fun rewatching. I gotta tell you, it's so fun re-examining because we've seen so many great superhero films over the years. You know, it's a great way of looking back to what we do with the comics. You know, you look back and says, oh yeah, there are some ideas here in Greek mythology, just in mythology in general, that they're also in common with the superheroes we love. A lot of Superman's ideas are in line with Hercules. And here it's just kind of looking back at, our superheroes, we love kind of our arcs and dynamics where they're kind of going through discovering what a hero is. Again, like Thor, Tiki, like you said.
Right.
I'm an action figure. I'm sorry, Jacob, that's still hilarious.
I like how Zeus says, like, you basically have to discover what this means by yourself. I can't tell you.
Yeah, and again, I love the look on Zeus's face when he frees. Like, he doesn't want to be the bad guy. He's just like, look, I can't give answers.
Because if Zeus tells him, it would basically lose all meaning of Hercules learning it himself.
Absolutely, but he wants, again, he has a pain scene too, where he doesn't want to tell him, no, you can't come back to Olympus, but he says, well, you're not exactly a god yet. You know, again, he's such a good father in this.
Like, he wants to see him, but he doesn't want to tell him how, because it would ruin all the meaning of learning it.
Mm-hmm. Look at this giant Graceland place Hercules is living.
And there's Scar.
Yep, there's Scar.
Yep. Okay, here we go.
What do you think about this one, Tiki?
Honestly, the only thing I ever think about when I see this scene is how the hell did it get there from Africa?
It was exported.
I guess so. And also, I guess it confirms that The Lion King more or less takes place in ancient Greek times.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot less modern than a lot of other Disney movies.
Well, if you want to make it into a big theory, sure.
Well, do you guys remember that one episode of Aladdin where he meets Hercules?
This is the most, over-the-top, Disney reference. Like Scar's dead corpse is literally just there.
Yeah, but Scar's corpse
would be big at all.
Hey, let's use Jeremy Irons' dead carcass as a towel. Let's do that.
That's what I'm saying. It kind of comes out of nowhere. I mean, I like it. It's fun, but it's odd.
I got his wrist, this sweatband.
Oh god. So if they're stepping on his face to get his costume.
There we go.
And then Phil follow him here again, like Master Roshi.
He's like, yeah.
See, look, these are the moments I'm talking about, Tiki. This is great, and again, the dynamic they have, it plays like they're falling in love over one night. That's what it's playing like. But they met each other beforehand. Again, it's like 2 meetings, really.
But they did meet each other beforehand, though, and she's been watching him the whole time, and I'm sure he's been thinking about her. So, like I said, it's not a big deal for me.
Well, I'll tell you the other thing, it's the whole misunderstanding thing that also doesn't help.
The liar revealed thing.
Yeah, that doesn't help either. That's what I'm saying. Again, I like it. It's a little gripe. That's all it is, Tiki. I still love her as a character. It's just like it's kind of holding her back from being in the top 5 or anything.
All right, fair enough.
Man, I love Jane Porter still. I know she's great.
We should do a live commentary on Tarzan sometime.
Well, that has commentary though, so we'll see.
Okay. I love that she's like, you lift at the back wall. Like, you lift at the back wall and we're gone. For those of you who are fans of Greek mythology plays, there's a very dirty joke coming up here.
Oh, God.
Tell them about it. Tell them about it.
You want me to tell them about it, or do you want me to go into details, or what?
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
Do whatever you want. Feels right. Go on.
Well, let's just say the whole Oedipus joke is a reference to the play Oedipus Rex, where due to a messed up prophecy, the hero ends up unknowingly marrying his mother and having children with her and killing his father.
So basically a dark version of Bates Motel.
Oh, God.
Yeah. In other words, yes. But and Hercules is like, Oedipus? Man, I thought I had problems.
Yep. Yeah, it's basically like a less adorable version of Bates Motel.
Very, very less adorable, yeah.
This scene's just
Norman, why are you blinding yourself? It wasn't that bad.
I love this scene.
I love how our big muscular hero is like so insecure in this scene.
Oh,
He's
totally.
terrified, and the whole a slipped disc is like all that. It's funny. You gotta like she's like so disheartened. She just wants I don't want to put him through too much pain. So find out the weakness. I go into Hades. I'm out.
How does he throw that one rock with both arms are gone?
Well, it's like a seismic shift. You know, he throws it so far the rock skips and it hits. It's like vibrations kill the other arm.
Yeah, but wouldn't it break the rest of the statue then?
Well, it probably cracks the back and we don't see it. I'm making that one up, all right? I'm just making it up. I'm just figuring how we get it, all right?
Yeah, like I said, who cares?
Yeah. It's art. This is nice. I mean, yeah, these two kids. I want to see these two kids end of the. Again, they got kind of a Reeve Kidder thing going on here. This is nice. Oh. No, not to the same level. I'm saying in terms of Richard Donner Superman comparison. That's what they got going on here.
And like this little Cupid.
Yeah, that's a great sight gag for sure.
Yeah, stabbing in the back.
Stabbing in the back, plus the whole Cupid falling in love thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a little design work on our.
Okay, this is exactly why I think Meg is such a complex character, because she's been hurt before, she's been burned before. We don't often see that with heroines. We don't often see them have a romantic history, you know what I mean?
Yeah, her arc
that's why she's so trepidatious about the whole thing, and I love that about her. It's
Where's
so
the light
realistic.
coming from anyway?
Oh, it's a little lamp he's got on his head.
Oh, yeah. It's just...
Yeah, but she just blew out the candle.
It's like a little lantern, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, what was that saying?
Not gonna question how that little candle makes that huge light, but okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll forgive it.
There are gods in this world, man. Come on.
He's a magic horse. Get over it.
And the gods live on a mountain that apparently you can visit if you can climb far enough up.
Like I said, and it's a magic horse. Get over it.
I just love the goofy face in Hercules.
Yeah, this is a really fun animation right here.
Next time I drive.
Yeah, but again, with Meg, it's like she has like a very Lois Lane thing. Like she doesn't think he's for real at first, but then she finds out, oh my god, this guy's actually the real deal. He actually is genuine. Like he doesn't tell a lie, any of that. So
Okay.
it's the real deal.
Okay. So first of all, this song's established very well. We have this little inner monologue with Meg right here.
If not, look, I'm not saying that she's singing it badly or anything. Yeah, she got some skill there. But here's what kills it for me. I blame it mostly on the muses, Tiki.
You don't like the muses.
I'm saying in this one, the muses don't do it for me, really. I think they kill any song that might be there, in my opinion.
These guys, they kill the mood, really.
I disagree.
I thought a lot of people actually disagree. They think they actually make this song better.
Yeah, I kind of agree with them. I think the muses are really
imagine all
fun
these
here.
lyrics being sung by Meg herself.
I mean, this whole song, it feels really forced to me.
I disagree.
I understand you disagree, honestly.
I don't know what else to say. I think the song's really catchy. I think it captures her character. I think it's one of the better...
I think it's forgettable.
I don't think it's forgettable at all. I think it's really catchy.
I just wish they would tone down the gospel singers in general, honestly.
Like, I think you're kind of missing the heart you might need in this scene to kind of like flesh out the conflict and the decision. It just feels like, okay, I'm just going to sing about my problems.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we'll just have to agree to disagree, but this has always been one of my favorites. Okay, you all ready for the Haunted Mansion reference coming up?
Oh yeah.
Hold on, wait for it. I mean, I love this.
It's well animated.
There we go.
Yeah, that is really funny.
Yeah,
I mean, look, it's well animated. I mean, again, we know Susan Egan; she's really talented at singing. So I mean, again,
I love the one that's holding up the head, and the head is the Thurl Ravenscroft one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just saying, it's not my favorite in this by any stretch. You know, it's for me.
I think this is by far the best song in the movie.
I disagree. Oh, we've reached an impasse.
I mean, I guess so, man. I mean, there's nothing you can say that'll change my mind about this. I love this song.
I'd go with either Zero Hero or A Star Is Born.
Yeah. I love that he turns the statue into a chair, though. I love that.
I wouldn't even call it a proper Disney love song, but it's just, I don't know. It's just got such a nice vibe to it.
It's like an anti-love song almost.
Exactly, and that's kind of why I like it.
I love this. Just Hades saying, "I own you." Hello, you can't walk out on me. This is something. And this is forced. The lie reveal here.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I love how Phil's playing it here. Like he says, "Oh man, it's gonna kill the kid." Again, he's feeling really bad about having to tell him this. But I hate the way the scene between him and Hercules plays out coming up, though.
He doesn't want to tell him either.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I think the emotions on them individually are good. Just when they're together doing the obligatory stuff, it's like, yeah, we've seen this 100 times before. Do we have to do this again? Again, I do like Hades kind of pulling the rug out from under, saying, "Well, yeah, you just revealed his weakness to me. I'm going to use it."
Yeah, I think that's been a good build-up throughout the movie. How Hades has been looking for the
I just love that face.
weakness.
I just love his face there, even though it's like funny but threatening at the same time.
I truly think he does. There's that great ticking clock we got there. Those plants are mining.
Oh yeah.
The minute that they can move like a couple million feet in a few minutes.
Again, like the setup to this is great. We see the two of them individually. Again, he's feeling real bad, but always gonna have to tell him. We see Hercules so happy-go-lucky. I mean,
and
him bringing it up is good.
And Phil actually pets Pegasus. He doesn't really like Pegasus, but he did it anyway.
Yeah. Again, the setup for this whole scene is great, but when we do the obligatory, after he says, "She's a fraud," then it kind of goes, because they don't explain anything to each other. That's the problem.
I'll agree. I think Hercules kind of, like, he doesn't listen to the situation at all. He very much overreacts. And
yeah, but again, I love this setup, though. He's so happy-go-lucky. He's literally jumped like 80 feet in the air or whatever.
Right.
The lady horse.
Oh, yeah, this was creepy.
Oh, God.
I feel bad for Pegasus.
My little Pegasus. Friendship is magic.
Oh, God. Everyone, in the comments, they always list that as the gag, Tiki.
I just love his face.
Oh, God.
He's like, ah!
And that is the predecessor to the Inside Out gag.
They did it first.
Just the way... I love the camera shakes in this scene, though.
A lot more horrific, though.
The camera shakes are awesome in this scene, though. It's lovely the way he just yells, "She's a fraud!" Yeah, this is... And neither of them are listening, and he just kind of belts him across the thing. I like I was remorseful for it, but again, just conversation, guys. Communication is key.
Oh,
Phil.
Phil doesn't deserve that.
No, he doesn't. I'm a Hercules, come on.
Yeah, he does look like Eric Goldberg from the back.
Yeah.
Someone cue the Sad Hulk music.
Da, 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 da.
When he says, "I thought you were going to be the all-time champ," that's sad.
You are the chosen one!
Now it's less sad.
And Hades just pops in.
Oh, this is a great scene, though. These two interacting. Is okay. Look, buddy, I broke up my best friend ever.
They met each other in the movie, right?
Yes.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, that's a great build-up.
I love how he just continues walking in midair.
Oh yeah. Seriously, this scene is great. Our hero finally meeting our big bad. His Uncle Hades. He has no idea it's his uncle, but Uncle Hades.
Right.
And again, I love the magic.
That out either.
I love this. He's a magic deal maker. He just he puts the thing there like as long as not a hair's harm on Meg's head, we'll make this happen.
He's very good at manipulation.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And I just love the way he talks to you. If dance or kiss, you smooth or carry on, we go home happy. What do you say? Come on.
James Woods is so great.
I think that's like probably the best James Woods delivery.
If dance or kiss, you smooth or carry on, we go happy. What do you say? Come on.
What do you say? Come on.
That was a big thing in the trailers too, if I'm remembering.
Yeah.
I thought that like almost every trailer He'll be safe from any harm.
So yeah, again, I love the little caveats here and how it's going to come back later on. It's such a brilliant idea with his magic. He's like a genie. He has to be very specific with the wishes. All little provisos, the quick pro quos, all the William F. Buckley stuff that Genie was throwing at us.
Boom! And there's the deal.
There's an iconic shot.
The hero giving away his power.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's not cool. Hades, come on. Pleasantries, Hades, come on.
Isn't it just peachy?
Hades just can't resist rubbing it in here. Has to take away the happy ending that Hades. What a prick.
Well, that's kind of the whole thing he goes for,
Yeah, I know.
Duh.
That face he makes.
He's like, look at this. Duh.
I always thought it was cruel the way Pain and Panic as children they Gatorade them here, or Herculate them in this case. It's all slimy and gross. Oh, and it's the Matt Frewer one too. I forgot about that. Hades loves the traveling style, doesn't he?
Why didn't you do that before? Yeah.
Oh boy.
And they moved quite a bit of ways. Ooh.
I love the comedy with the four Titans here. He just has to direct them in the right thing,
Yeah, well, that's later, actually.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like I think they start some stuff here too, like where he's like just like trying to get their attention or something.
Guys, Olympus would be that way. And it's like, ooh, what was the first thing you will do? Destroy him. Good answer.
That's what I'm talking about. It's just
like subtle humor like that. It makes it funny.
Oh yeah.
And I love the scale they put on these Titans. Like these things, these things are huge.
Oh my God, there's horse death in this.
And deforestation.
Oh yeah.
And wind damage.
I love this thing coming up.
Well, that's covered by insurance. Those guys are fine.
The Twister reference.
I love this thing here.
Olympus would be that way. I like that.
Right. My optic friend. Oh, this was such. You know who voices Hermes here, right?
Who?
Paul Schaefer.
That makes sense.
Paul.
Letterman's sidekick.
Yeah, Letterman's sidekick.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or does he remind you of Robbie from Goofy Movie?
Kind of.
You mean Bobby?
Bobby.
I mean, come on, gone, babe.
His voice does sound kind of similar to
the Leaning Tower of Jesus.
I think he's like that guy.
It was around the same time too.
We never saw.
Goofy Movie was 95. This is 97.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's
maybe Paul Schaefer could be the other Paul's father, perhaps. In Goofy movie we never saw, Or not.
I love the scale of the Titans. Like, they're massive compared to everything.
Yeah, this guy really needs to hit the Olympus gym.
Hercules will save us.
It's always a good statue gag when you need it. So okay, here's where Hercules is starting to make his way down the right arc here, where he's now realizing even though he doesn't have the power, he's still got to go out there and make a difference. He's getting there. He's getting to the big old sacrifice mount there. He's willing to die. It's a great first step.
So you mighty Hercules.
Is it just me or did this guy shrink?
Oh no, he's crouching down right now.
Well, I know, but he was bigger before. I mean, he was like the size of one of those buildings now.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they shifted scale, because you can't have him be. Well, I mean, if you're doing it right, he should be the same size of all times. But sometimes they just scale that for animation, probably. There's Meg just like does not like being on that horse.
Ooh. Here comes the boom.
Crazy weather they're having that day.
That's because of the Titans.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, look how.
Is it just me, or do the Titans remind me of Yu-Gi-Oh villains? Or like Yu-Gi-Oh monsters?
Well, I mean, one of them does look a little bit like Obelisk the Tormentor.
The Ice Titan specifically.
Yeah, the Ice Titan looks like Obelisk the Tormentor, but...
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's very anime-esque, which I think is appropriate because we're about to get into a time, especially with Treasure Planet and definitely Atlantis, where Disney was kind of trying to ape the anime for a while.
Sorry, Zeusy, I'm Home is my favorite from this.
Oh, God.
Zeusy, I'm home.
It's so ridiculous, It says it with so much glee, and, just then Zeus's reaction to my brother's doing this to me. But again, seriously, how heroic is Hercules here going up against this guy, even though, because he knows he's targeting him, he's looking for him, so he's giving himself up there. That's a heroic move right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's why he wears the cape, folks.
Danny DeVito just being like Polly on the side.
Yeah. I don't know, we get a lot
not Polly, Mickey on the side.
We don't get a lot of bruising in Disney films, do we?
I love
not
how
really, no.
That was a pretty cool how he did.
Oh yeah, that was a brutal shot, though.
He's again using his brains instead of his brawn here.
You're right. And again, it's so cool that he takes him down without his super strength. How cool was that?
Yeah, but here's where Hades' deal breaks.
Yep, and this is where Meg makes the ultimate sacrifice. And this is great with Meg. Absolutely, this is good. Oh my God, that no. Again, the Zeus family knows how to give a good no.
They do.
The deal was broken. And that's how
again,
Hercules gets his strength back.
Legalities of magic here. It's always it's great. It's theological logic at its finest. It's well, he broke the deal, so it's undone.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is sad. We actually get like a really sad death in this movie. Meg gets again very much like the Richard Donner Superman.
He actually dies.
As a character.
Exactly like the Donner Superman. Lois dies.
Exactly.
Then Superman brings her back.
And the thing about this is, they can actually have a character, her die, but then he can go save her.
Yeah, they can actually show death in this movie.
Yeah. My only question, how does he find his way to where Hades is?
Well, he probably got information from the gods or something.
Yeah. So again, it looks like it's just you can go to Olympus any time. Really, just climb the giant mountain.
Well, there is a difference between going there and joining them.
Yeah, but he came here now when they're then again the gates down. Maybe that's why. Never mind.
Under new management.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So that's Keith David as Apollo there.
Years later, these same directors would use him for Princess and the Frog.
Yep.
David is just awesome in general.
He's also
BlueDragonFive, I'm always going to think of the goldfish now when I think of Keith David, though.
Yeah.
He was also in Gargoyles.
I just want to see season 2 of Mr. Robot. Move the fish to the window.
anyways. Goliath on Gargoyles, definitely another highlight for sure.
The yachts with the horse.
Again, the midst of we've been dealt some.
These guys.
It's been cool. We've been dealt some serious drama here. You know, Meg on her deathbed here, but we still have some times for some laughs as Hades is being caught in like the fire and the lava and all that crap.
And then Hercules is like, oh yeah, he's about to die.
Pegasus right here is perfect.
Like, no.
What, is my hair out?
How is he able to grab wind? We have no idea.
Again, movie with gods in it. Let's give it a pass.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we can't just pass everything because they're gods.
I'm saying it's like the mythic.
How do you explain this? How do you explain the explosion?
Well, you know, they're all just trying to get out of there. Their powers are going off like crazy. They all blow each other up. That's my logic. I don't know. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Now, let's see.
There's no reason for him to stop there.
I really do love the score in this movie. I think the score is good in this movie.
Alan Menken's good at composing.
Oh, yes, he is. Like the whole...
I love the intensity of this scene.
Yes.
Like
that's what I'm saying. Like when he's charging to save Meg when they're about to cut the string, it's the score is fantastic.
And like I said, this whole concept of like the string and the scissors and everything, it's very creepy.
It makes you feel so helpless because anyone could just cut a string anytime. You know, it's like that's how easy it is to kill someone. You just cut a string with like the crappiest pair of scissors ever.
It's also
I gotta say that hand going limp is brutal.
Oh yeah.
It's also rooted in mythology, and it's also rooted in mythology as well.
Totally.
And look how limp she is. I mean, like they show like she's dead.
Yeah. They don't shy back on this one at all.
Like
Hercules, run as fast as you can around the earth many times, and you can do it. Some things you just can't change. Again, very much like Superman.
Except this one makes slightly more sense.
Yeah, it does.
Seriously, though, Danny DeVito, like, I have kind of criticized his singing in this movie, but in this moment, Danny DeVito is very emotional.
Oh, yeah. He's a good actor.
Okay, back to the evil lair.
Cerberus.
And he's the big dog in the room.
Honestly, I wish they would have used Cerberus more in this. I mean,
you know what? I agree. Rewatching this movie, like, considering how big Cerberus is in the context of Kingdom Hearts, I would have thought that he had more screen time, but no, he just kind of shows up at the beginning and the end. It's kind of funny.
Like he's just a guardian of the underworld, but I mean, look at him. He's a giant three-headed dog. You could at least use it for something.
I think he should have been involved in a fight. I think that would have been cool.
As a kid, I love this scene. I love the idea of our hero jumping into like a pool of death and like race against the clock, swimming in there to save the girl. You know?
There's one thing I noticed though. Like, you know, when he reached in, it's almost like he's wet instantly, but here he dives in.
Yeah.
That doesn't make much sense, and then he's able to climb back out.
I don't know. It's like it might have been just reaching in the general area where it was that dissolved his hands. Might be that strong. I don't know.
I love how quickly he ages here.
Yeah. Well, again, it's really he's jumping right into the pit of death here. So it's.
I just love how seamless it is.
Like this tension right here. I love this. The way this scene's constructed. This is great. Fantastic score, tension, again, this idea of just, like, being able to save someone if you can get out of there in time.
And then the scissors won't cut.
Oh, yeah, that's a great moment. And the realization on Hades
That's like the Thor picking up the hammer moment.
Yes!
You can't kill God.
Again, this movie, it's Rocky meets Superman meets Thor. That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think it's more Superman than anything else, but there's a little bit of flavor of Rocky and Thor mixed in there for good measure.
I love
Hades has finally lost everything. I love this part.
Again, this is like him coming out as...
He's just like, shut the fuck up.
Just a little. I love the faces talking, even though there's no face. You know.
And then
I love this. The moment he touches May, he's like, "You just did the wrong. You boy, you." Bam! Right in the water.
Right in the water. And,
Well,
Hades,
right in the slime.
and think about this. Hades cannot die. He's going to be down there for all eternity.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna be pretty. If he gets out of there.
It's one of the more satisfying Disney. It's not a death, you know what I mean? It's just.
It's an inconvenience, but he gets flushed down the
right.
toilet. Quite literally, he gets flushed down the eternal toilet.
And there's no getting out. But who will kill who will take care of the underworld now?
Well, Pain and Panic.
Well, he was in the TV series. Well, he was in the episode of Aladdin where he met Jafar.
Was he? Oh my god, I need to see that.
No, he met Aladdin and he and Jafar teamed up.
But that takes place before.
Gentlemen, we should do a commentary or a retrospective of something about the Disney TV team ups, but that's a whole different thing.
Well, like I said, the events of that episode actually take place before the events of this movie. Well, this
Okay.
movie.
I don't think so.
Yes, it does. I mean, like this all takes place before he becomes a hero.
Yeah, the Disney,
right,
the Hercules prequel is Hercules as a teenager. Yeah,
The animated series is him. It's basically it's literally like
the animated
Smallville.
series
It's
is
on the way.
Smallville.
Yeah.
That's literally
Then
what
again,
it is. It's Smallville.
Yeah, but there's an inconsistency because isn't Phil in that series?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, then
yes.
again, he'd be before he. Oh wait, no, he actually met. Never mind. It fits. He met Phil and then he trained. Never mind. It's fine.
Yeah, because we have that montage
Yeah.
where Phil's training him for a number of years.
The thing
Yeah.
is Hades, his interaction
They're
with...
again about to pull the wool over her eyes at the last minute and reveal that she's the villain.
But the inconsistency in the series is Hades
She's up to no good. She's up to no good.
Yeah, William, we read in. Again, it's not the worst thing in the world if he's met Hades before because again, it's. Here it looks like it's the first time he meets him, but he didn't address it. You know, either way, I think you're kind of safe on that one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's not as cool though. It's kind of better if he doesn't know who he is. I like the glow on Hercules, signifying godhood. By the way, it's a nice little visual cue of like, okay, so the guy he finally did it. He's finally in there. Our hero gets everything he wants, but again, the thing he cannot have is the woman he loves in as a god with him up there. And again, he's made the sacrifice. He's earned it. Our guy, it's not like a kind of a so-so thing. It's like, no, he's finally done it. He made the right decisions. He earned his godhood, but you know what? He's going to make a big sacrifice here, showing how fully rounded the guy is. His whole arc has been selfish in a way. Like he wants to be a god, be reunited with his parents. It's not a bad selfish thing, but a selfish thing. He's done a selfless thing, and now he wants to do more selfless things, like be with her, protect people.
He realizes what being a true hero means now.
Absolutely. Again, it's all the superhero stuff we know in the movies just kind of boiled down to this one. It's really neat.
It's not what you do. It's the strength of your heart when what you do. It's not what you do. It's why you do it.
Absolutely. It's more than strength and likability by the people. And Hercules also wanted to be kind of liked because he was always an outcast. It's more than that. It's again less movie about what you want, but what other people want.
You have to admit this song's good though.
Yeah, this is my favorite moment in the whole movie is in this song here. When
That's Phil's boy.
Yeah, Phil, that's the moment. It's just when he gives this look coming up here, where he's just like you see Phil's eyes. Again, the acting is so great. Eric Goldberg did such a fantastic job when Phil looks up there, where he says the stars are aligned in Hercules, and he just gives this wide-eyed look of like, just like he's there. It's all my dreams have come true right here.
Yeah.
That's Phil's boy. Like, oh my god.
That part gives me chill. I love Phil's. That's Phil's boy.
And look, even Meg's come around on Phil. They're all pals. This is how nice is that?
Phil made Hercules' dream came true, and Hercules made his dream come true.
Yes, how nice is that?
And there's the end.
Ah.
Don Musker and Ron Clements.
Yeah.
Let's watch Mulan.
On Netflix, you get the next options of other Disney films.
Mine wasn't Mulan.
And Hunchback and all sorts of.
Mine wasn't Mulan.
All right.
Wait, so this. One of you said this was the last time Hercules is going to be on Netflix. It's going to be taken off, or
Yes.
all the Disney movies.
Well, I don't know if it's all. I just know Hercules in particular.
Well, I actually think
Disney
Netflix. There's going to be a bunch of Disney movies coming onto Netflix, but this one in particular is going off.
Yeah, they recently struck a deal with Netflix to have like Netflix will be like the first to get everything from them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Which may or may not include Zootopia. I'm not sure how that's going to work. They might actually put it on Netflix before on DVD, actually.
Which would be kind of weird, but I guess.
Well, I mean, at the same time, I'm not sure. It might be a little bit after DVD because it's like coming out really soon after this deal's made. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a lot of these names on here, and a lot of these names actually went on to make a lot of the future movies at the studio.
Yes, they did.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like a lot of them became like big producers and other things.
Yeah, Randy Cartwright, there's an important name. Randy Cartwright, of course, big in the archival Disney footage. You know, he gave the tours during the Wake and Sleep Beauty thing. So, what'd you guys think of the movie?
It's really good. Like I said, I don't really have too much more to say about it that hasn't already been said. It's like looking back on it, Dragon. I think you did make some good points about the '90s references that I can kind of forgive it a little bit more. Or I don't have a ton of complaints about it. I think there's a couple problems with the narrative a little bit, but it's very fun that it's essentially just a Superman movie. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it was like this before Big Hero 6. That was their real first step in a superhero movie. It's kind of like a little gem in that regard.
Before even The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Well, that was Pixar, but.
Well, yeah,
Well,
but
you know what I mean. It's
Pixar Disney, yeah.
now it's yeah. So it's like a whole little gem in the past. Like everyone kind of glazes over this one. Remember, guys, they actually
It's funny, yeah, you're right. People do glaze over this one because it's like I remember people glazed over Hunchback back in the day, but now everyone talks about Hunchback. Like Hunchback is a huge fan favorite right now.
Because of Frollo, people go gaga for Frollo.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And you would think that Hades would have a similar effect, but yeah, it's like not as many people talk about this movie as they do most of the other '90s movies.
I remember watching the VHS tape of this movie like crazy because it was really fun. It was
That's one of the things for me is it's one of the movies I never actually owned on VHS because I just watched it so much at school. I was never compelled to own it on VHS.
I know. My family, like my parents, like had a bunch of them before I was even born.
Nice.
But one of the ones they never even had was Hercules. I mean, like we had Lion King and Pocahontas. We skipped and Hunchback of Notre Dame. Skipped this one and then had Mulan. For some reason, we had all the surrounding ones except this one.
Jacob, I think that kind of proves the point that this kind of gets lost in the shuffle a little bit. Really quick before we sign out, a lot of people kind of compare this movie to Aladdin in a negative way. I disagree with that. I think the only thing that can be compared to Aladdin in that regard is just kind of the pop culture references. But what do you guys think about that? Kind of debunk that a little bit because I always thought that's an unfair comparison, right?
It's very inaccurate of a comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, they're two different, not at all similar. I mean, if anything, the only closest Aladdin comparison you have is they have kind of a standout performance like James Woods versus Robin Williams. They both have their huge stand. They're not the same ballpark at all. I'm just saying.
Another reason they're inherently similar. They're directed by the same people.
Of course. But I mean, that's one of the things I like about filmmaking is that you pick up different signatures from different directors.
They also did Little Mermaid.
Anderson or Nolan.
They also did Little Mermaid before this too.
Right.
Yeah.
Before Aladdin, actually.
Well, no, the first thing they did was Great Mouse Detective. That was the first.
Well, but everybody knows them more from Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Although Great Mouse Detective is also amazing.
Yeah.
Great Mouse Detective we should talk about sometime. That's an underrated movie, for sure.
Absolutely.
Gotta love some Vincent Price. Although I have to say, Vincent Price is right again, not nearly as underrated as George C. Scott as McLeach.
Well,
I still think George C. Scott as McLeach is the most underrated Disney villain ever. But
now that I think about it, with this new Netflix deal, we actually might be able to do more Disney commentaries than.
Yeah. That'd be wonderful.
Depending how the deal works out, we'll see, folks.
See what's down under.
If it's available, I mean, I don't think there's a commentary for that.
I don't think so. I'd be shocked if there was.
But I'd like to do it for Great Mouse Detective.
I'm down for that, but I gotta check on the commentary for that.
I'm pretty sure there is a commentary for Great Mountain.
That's a thing. We'll talk about that in a while. Let's not bore the folks with us planning.
Yeah.
But
credits.
Yes. Fonts.
It's a nice font.
Yes, it is.
Thanks to the entire feature animation support staff and their dedication, good humor. It's been a real scene. Oh, look, Hades is
It's been a real slice. I was referencing Meg's name.
He's just still trapped down there.
That's a fun little post-credits thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like the narrator.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's even over the logo. You don't usually see post-credits go beyond, go into the logo. That's fun.
Oh, yeah. But again, overall, I still got big nostalgic connections to this movie, and I'm very entertained by it to this day. It's a good movie. It's fun.
Yeah. Sandy and Jacob, you guys have any final thoughts about it?
You go first, Sandy.
Sorry, I was listening to the movie. No, not really. I mean, as I said before, it doesn't really. It's not as good as a film like Aladdin, of course, but it has its charm. It has its charm.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I personally don't think the music is as good as really any of the films.
I will defend that one song to the death, but that I guess we'll have to learn to agree.
Are you Tiki? Let me just clarify. Are you seriously defending that over any of the songs in Aladdin? Seriously, give me the straight answer.
Okay, any of the songs in Aladdin. I'd have to
any of the songs in Aladdin versus that one song.
Yeah, I honestly, I kind of don't really like Whole New World. I'm not saying Whole New World is a worse song. I'm not saying it's. You guys are ganging up on me. I'm ending this.
Seems like we gang up on you for everything.
If you said a friend like me, I would have had the same reaction. If you said that, I would have jumped on.
I guess Prince Ali isn't really that great of a song.
Oh, come on! Prince Ali's a good song.
Well, the reprise isn't that great, though.
Yeah, the reprise was fun, though. It was Jafar throwing it back in his face. It wasn't a song. It was like a little callback.
Okay.
No, seriously, come on. Prince Ali was a lot better than the Meg song. Come on.
I love the Meg song. I will always defend the Meg song. I'm sorry.
I personally like the music in this movie.
Sorry?
I like the music in this movie.
The music's good. Just not as good as some of the other stuff.
I mean, they tried doing something different.
Yeah.
Instead of the standard Broadway stuff that they always done at that point, they tried going for more.
Yeah, at that point they very much were in the Broadway. And I do think the whole "Go the Distance" song is the closest thing they do have to a Broadway song.
I mean, look, the change in style is perfectly fine. It's a welcome change. It's just, it doesn't eclipse some of the other songs we've gotten from other Disney films. Again, we do have some good ones here. Again, personally, I like "One Last Hope," or Tiki likes the Meg song. It's a different taste.
Zero to Hero.
Zero to Hero. I mean, it's automatically good. I'm just talking like another standout, but
Okay.
And I guess, should I say my thoughts on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I never really had a bunch of nostalgic value for this. I mean, not that that's a bad thing or anything, but because I never really got the opportunity to watch it when I was younger. My family seems to think that it was probably the first movie they took me to see in theaters, considering I was born in '94 and this came out in '97. My sister's first movie was The Lion King.
My first movie was The Lion King as well. Hell yes.
Yeah. So my family either thinks that my first one was either Hunchback or this one, or maybe even Mulan. I don't know.
All good choices.
Yeah, definitely. We should definitely do Mulan one of these days.
Well, Mulan is a good movie.
Like I said, so going on my point, I really never had any nostalgic attachment to this, but it won me over quite a bit, actually. I mean, it just definitely has its charms. I mean,
I think it's an underrated gem. I'll definitely say that much.
I mean, I appreciate a lot of the references. I mean, it had a lot more dirt. It got away with a lot of dirty humor that a lot of other films haven't been able to get away with, especially the Oedipus reference. Yeah, I've read that. pretty disturbing if you actually know the whole story.
Maybe we haven't been throwing the right curves at them.
Oh, God. All right. Guys, I'm going to have to go back, Jacob.
But I believe this is is one of their more underrated movies. They completely forget it happens, kind of like the new Winnie the Pooh movie.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that. That's a whole big thing.
All right. No, Pooh. No
They kind of glaze this one over, like they skipped from Hunchback over to Mulan, and they leave this one behind.
Yeah, definitely. I hear you.
But I think it definitely deserves its place in the sun amongst the other films. I mean, it's definitely not the best works, not even from these directors, but it's also far from the worst that the studio's ever made.
Yeah.
It's like one of my personal favorites from the Disney Renaissance.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I've got another podcast to do with Adventure Blue Dude, so I've got to cut this short. Well, it's not short, but I have to cut it out now. So.
All right. See ya.
Yeah. Well, we'll
say
be
goodbye.
back.
We're still live.
Yeah, I know.
Let's say goodbye.
Oh, we're still live. Oh.
I know.
Yeah, I was telling that's what I was telling Sandy, that we're still alive.
Okay, well, just saying, just to kind of tease the people, we're going to be doing a full-length commentary on Star Wars: The Force Awakens, in which I will be ganged up on mercilessly.
Da-na,
So stay tuned for that, folks. Stay tuned for that, because these three people, when they get together, individually they're fine. When they get together, I always get ganged up on. So.
We're the Knights of Ren!
We're looking forward to it.
So until then, we dance, we kiss, we schmooze, we carry on, we go home happy. What do you say? Come on.